Well, here they are. They are the results. We asked you who you thought would win tonight, Saturday's big fight, and 73% say Mayweather. Not really a surprise. 27% Skip would say is a surprise for Canelo, right? You're surprised by that.
I am.
Well, speaking of the big fight, it's just hours till Floyd Money Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez weigh in for tomorrow's highly anticipated fight. For more insight into one of the biggest fights ever, the one, joining us now from Las Vegas, our boxing analyst, Teddy Atlas. Teddy, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Okay, look, it must be a big fight. They got me in a tux.
You look good.
That's a giveaway, right there, Steven? You know?
That's right, that's right.
Teddy, let's get right to it. What chance do you really give Canelo against Floyd in this fight?
I give him a good chance. I give him a very good chance, only because Floyd gives you a chance. And really, that's the best way to break it down, is Floyd's greatest strength is also his greatest weakness. It's his defense. You know, his defense does everything, and if you're hard to hit, well, it's hard to beat a guy. But sometimes he gets intoxicated with his defense. You know, too much of anything can hurt you. He goes defensive so often, so much. He doesn't put the foot to the pedal, where he gives you opportunities, one, to hang in fights, and two, to hustle, to work, and maybe to steal rounds when he's going defensive. I think sometimes more than he should go defensive, because a lot of times a guy is about to come in and he anticipates it, he goes into his defensive move. But if he would have threw a punch, those punches are never thrown. And anytime you're allowing somebody to throw or chuck extra leather at you, you're giving them an extra chance to get lucky or, as I said, to hang out, to survive, and maybe outwork you. And when you have judges in my business that you can't depend on, you don't want to be in a situation where they can steal a fight from you. That's it.
Teddy, during the last fight, Floyd acknowledged that he had hurt his hand. Considering the fact that he had hurt his hand and he's had a history of that, explain to us real quickly why you think he took this fight against this kid at this time.
I can't believe of all the people, you, my man Steven, saying real quickly, wow, that's got to be an oxymoron.
Touche!
Man, right there, we got our first upset of the evening. But I will get it to you. I will get it to you, my man. You know what? Listen, his hands are healthy now. Obviously, he believes they're going to stay healthy. Fighters all have had problems. I mean, that's their tool of the trade. Muhammad Ali, nobody had more hand problems, but they get through it. You know why? Because they're fighters. You know what a fighter does? He overcomes. He took this fight because he watched the tape of Trout, from what I've been told, and he said, get me that guy. Get me that guy and get me an extra $25 million. And that's what they did. They got him that guy, and they got him an extra $25 million, and he took the fight. And there you have it.
So, Teddy, I was watching you on SportsCenter, and I saw that in your breakdown of the fight that you gave the intangibles to Canelo in part because of the crowd. Can you please explain for us?
Yeah, listen, Skip, I know the one thing, you look to analyze things and break things down, and that's a good job on your part. I'm the first one to say on Friday Night Fights on ESPN that you're all alone in that ring. So that's probably what you're looking at. And yes, he's still going to be all alone in that ring. But when you have not just fans, but countrymen, there's a difference. It's almost like a soccer game. Yep. You have countrymen behind you with that kind of passion, with that kind of ocean of emotion. Well, you know what? If he's in a fight, he's got to be in a fight. If he gets past the tough early rounds and he's in the fight, guess what? Those people, you feel them, you hear them, they can carry you.
Well, if that's how come it couldn't work against him? We've seen a lot of people wilt beneath that pressure, Teddy.
There you go. Well, because it's not his temperament. He's not a real overly emotional guy. If he was an overly emotional guy, like, say, a Paulie Malignaggi or something like that, and he's going to try too much, he's going to get out of his game, yeah, I agree with you, Steven. But he's not an overly emotional guy. I think this is going to be like cold rain hitting him on a day when he's fighting outdoors. He's getting a little fatigued, a little tired, a little bit worn out here, and the cold rain hits him. But it's going to be the warm emotion hitting him that could carry him.
Okay, so Teddy, what exactly about Canelo's resume to date has impressed you the most?
First of all, I think he has underrated hand speed. Look, Floyd still gets the check mark there, but he's got underrated hand speed. And Everyone says he's the biggest, stronger guy. He's the biggest, stronger guy. But to me, that is not what's most paramount. What's most paramount, what's most relative is where does he go with those bigger, stronger punches? Guess what? He goes downstairs to the basement. Yes. He goes down to the body. And as much as the head moves like this, the body stays still. That is one of the things that gives him a chance.
Is that what you saw? Go ahead, Stephen A.
Do you believe Floyd can keep Alvarez off of him with those and keep him off from him and prevent those body shots?
You know, that's a good question. Floyd, to prevent the body shots, really, it's not about the head movements. It's about blocking and about using your legs. At the age Floyd's at, he's getting closer and closer to 40. I don't know if he can use the legs all night long. That's going to be a question. That's going to be one of the really important things that are going to play out in this fight.
So, Teddy, exactly how impressed were you with the decision over Austin Trout?
You know, I wasn't overly impressed. I mean, I think it was good for him to go the rounds, go with a higher level guy. It's the highest level guy that he's been in with. Look, there's no doubt about it. The people that want to run to the betting office, it's okay for me to say that. We are in Las Vegas, so we can talk about that. It's legal. You know, the people that are going to run there because of the experience level, the experience difference is really, for me, is Floyd has been in there with a much higher quality guy. That's the difference. As far as overall experience, if you want to stay away from Canelo because he doesn't have overall experience, I think you're wrong. Because when you turn pro when you're 15 years old and you're fighting men when you're 15 years old, guess what? You have experience. Guess what? You've dealt with things. Guess what? You're ready to deal with a big moment. So, but it's the experience of the higher level. Trout was the highest level guy that he fought. I think it was good for him to get through that fight. I think it was good for him for this fight, preparation, to go the rounds. And I was impressed, but not overly impressed because Trout is a lot slower. You know, he's a class below Mayweather.
Right. Well, Teddy, Roger Mayweather was training Floyd all of these years, in recent memory, but now he switched back to his dad. How much do you think that's going to factor? The dad is really focused on defense, particularly since the Cotto fight. How much do you think that's going to help Floyd in this particular fight, having his dad, you know, sort of lead the charge?
Hey, who's the king of your castle, Stephen? Come on, I don't even got to ask you that. Right? Come on, you're the king of your castle.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Well, who do you think's the king of Floyd's castle? Come on. No matter who's there, Floyd's going to do what Floyd does. Floyd's been doing this since he's 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever it is. He's had 250 amateur fights. He's comfortable in that ring. That is his kingdom. He knows what to do.
So, Teddy,
who you picking?
Yeah, go ahead. Who you got?
Oh,
who you got?
You guys want everything. You guys want everything. I thought I could just give you a breakdown and get away with that and walk away and be a little safe.
Well, no, you can't.
All right, I won't because I respect you guys. Yeah. I'm going to say that Floyd has a chance to knock out Canelo because Canelo has one flaw, but I'm not done. Canelo has one flaw that really would scare me if I was to back Canelo. He likes to pick punches and stand straight up. And guess what? You get a chance when a guy's picking punches and not moving his head to make you miss, you get a chance to run punches on him. If this was Sugar Ray Leonard, I'd be picking Leonard with no doubt. I'd be guaranteeing it. Leonard's going to knock him out. Yep. But Floyd has comparable skills to Leonard. Maybe not quite as good a puncher, but comparable skills. So that's not what's going to take me away from Floyd. What takes me away from Floyd a little bit is his temperament. He doesn't have Sugar Ray Leonard's temperament. He's not a go seek and destroy guy. He's not going to go and get you. He's going to play it safe. He's a great fighter. He's going to play it smart. He's going to do just enough to win. I think that's going to allow a window for Canelo to hang out, to stay in a fight, kind of like an underdog in any other sport, to hang around a little bit and have a chance when Floyd goes defensive too much, have a chance to outwork him, and maybe steal rounds with these judges here, and at the end, steal a decision. Canelo steals a decision over Floyd.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, we got to leave it right there with that. Boom, Stephen A. Our boxing analyst, Teddy Atlas in Vegas, delivering a knockout punch before we let you go. You look good in that tux. Take care of yourself while you're there, okay? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our final take.